Assalamualaikum everyone. So today my group, we are from Group 3, would be presenting about soil cultivation. These are my team members, which is Zhang Peishi, Siti Auni, Putri Shaza, Khairunnisa, Awang Ibrahim, Sharizan bin Iskandar, Ong Jian Xiang, and Wakia. But today, the only who is presenting is Zhang Peishi, me myself, Ong Ibrahim, Sharizan Iskandar, and Ong Jian Xiang. So without any further ado, let me start into the introduction. So for the introduction, for this subject, we are required to do a soil cultivation, which is we've been given a bed and divided it into 3 parts. And there are 3 vegetable divisions that we require to do, which is green amaranth, water spinach, and dwarf bok choy. So let's start with the objective. So these are the 3 main objectives for this project, which is to study cultivating vegetables by using soil medium practice. And the second one is to practice on applying organic fertilizer to the vegetable. And the lastly is to learn on how market the vegetable into the market. So the first subtopic would be planting. First of all, like I've said before, we were planted 3 vegetable, which is green emerald, or known as bayam hijau, and the second one is dwarf bok choy, and the third one is water spinach, or famously known as kangkong. So the first step that we do in planting is before we planted it on the soil, we need to sow it first. So the first step is sowing. Each type, what I mean here, each type means one type of vegetable is on 1 tray. Means we need 3 trays. So 1 tray is equal to 1 vegetable. So for green amaranth and dwarf bok choy, we need 3 to 4 seeds inside 1 hole. And for water spinach, it's about 1 to 2 seeds inside 1 hole. So when we're finished sow them, then the sowing medium, we have to put it into the greenhouse, and the sowed seed have to cover it with plastic. Why we need to cover it with plastic is because to keep the soil moisture and to avoid pest and disease attack. And then let's move to the bedding. Okay, in bedding, the first thing we need to do is lining. So we have to decide how long, how wide our bed is. So in this project, we only provided one bed for one small group. When one group, we only provided 1 bed, which is divided into 3 parts for each vegetable. So one bed is about 3.5 meters long, and the wide is about 1 meter. And like I said, in 1 bed, divide into 3, and each divided part is for 1 vegetable. You can see in this picture, this is the example of lining that we have done. And the second one is liming. So before we started doing planting, we have to do liming. So this is very usual application before planting. Why we need to do liming is because we want to neutralize the soil and then increase the nutrient availability. And when the nutrient availability is high in the soil, then it could promote the activity of earthworms and nitrogen-fixing bacteria. So when there are earthworm and nitrogen-fixing bacteria living happily inside the soil, then it could improve the soil structure. So the third one is fertilizer. So in this project, for this vegetable, we use processed chicken manure or chicken dung. So as you can see in this picture, this is the example of the chicken dung that we choose. And why we need to apply this fertilizer? So the first one is to provide sufficient NPK to soil. and it also works as complex fertilizer. When we apply this chicken manure fertilizer, then we don't even need other fertilizers to start off. So then it is also very environmental friendly. So next, I will pass the stage to Peishi.
Okay, thank you, Awang. Next part is irrigation system, and the first one is piping. The piping type most commonly used for irrigation system is white PVC, and PVC comes in 10 or 20-foot lines, and depending on the supply, and is glued together with PVC segment. And most PVC piping has one belt and coupling made into the end of the pipe. Okay, next page, please. Okay, next one is sprinkler. And sprinkler systems allow the application of high pressure water with the help of a pump, and it releases water similar to rainfall, so small diameter nozzles placed in pipes. And due to the wide range of drainage subsidy, and water is distributed through the pipe system and spread into the eye and irrigated in most soil types. And there are some advantages for using sprinkler. First one is elimination of water transmission channels, thus reducing water transmission losses, and suitable for all types of soils, but heavy clay, and save up to 30% to 50% of water, and helps increase yields and reduce labor costs, and mobility of systems helps system operation easy. Okay, next page, please. Okay, next part is transplanting. And transplanting, first seeding should be handed off and well fed and watered before transplanting. And we need prepare a weed-free surface and loosen and aerate the soil by tilling and hoeing. And we need dig a hole large enough to plant seedlings and carefully remove the seedlings from the container and try not to injure the roots. And we place seedlings in a hole flush with the soil surface and surrounded seeding with displaced soil, and we water slowly and keep the air wet free. Okay, next page, please. Okay, after transplanting is mulching. We use shredded coconut for mulching, and they reduce tillage labor and the need of cultivation and the use of weed control chemicals, because emerging weeds and small weeds die under the barrier of darkness, and merged soils absorb water better than unmulched soils and return moisture by reducing soil temperature to reduce evaporation of soil moisture. And in addition, mulching reduces soil loss from heavy rains and winds. Okay, that's all for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Peishi. Now for the thinning. After several weeks of transplanting the seedling, thinning activity can be done to ensure the only healthy seedling is remaining on the bed. One of the methods of thinning is manually remove the unhealthy, damaged and stunted growth of seedling by hand or tools. Each hole should only have one or two seedling. The purpose of thinning is to provide a good air circulation, reduce the competition within seedling, and provide enough space and nutrient sources for the seedling so that they can be divided equally. Next slide. For the harvesting, we can harvest our vegetable after 4 weeks of planting. We usually harvest the vegetable at the morning to make sure the quality of the crop in good condition. The method we use for harvesting is hand picking. It is due to the veggies are easy to be harvested and can reduce its physical damage. The veggie can be put into the rack or basket so that it can easily send to the SMP point operation for the post-harvest management. As the picture show at the left hand, this is the picture show that we are harvesting the vegetable. So next to the picture on our right hand, this is the post-harvest handling. So we done our post-harvest handling at the SMP point in the farm. So after harvesting, we must immediately done the post-harvest handling because it can maintain the freshness and the quality of the crop. The veggie were washed with water to clean and remove soil and other material on it. The purpose is to clean the vegetable and have a better look so that it will be more satisfied to the customer. After that, the vegetable were packaged using plastic bag and now it's ready for sale. That's all for me. I will pass to Sharizan.
Okay, thank you, Ong. Now I will present our the next topic, which is our marketing. Okay, after we harvest and do the post-harvest handling of the crop, now we like to package the crop for the marketing. Okay, in marketing, there are 4 strategies that I include for sell the vegetable. Okay, the strategy that we use is a 4P. Okay, first as a product. Okay, for our crop production is organic fresh vegetable because we only use organic fertilizer only, no pesticide, no chemical fertilizer being used. Okay, after that price. Okay, the crop price all cheap because we only sold the vegetable in affordable price. For example, like bayam and kangkung that we sell is 3 ringgit for 300 gram only. Okay, next is the place. Okay, the plants, the site that we use is near to the customer. So this made me so strategic because when after we harvest and packaging all the crop, we can sell to the customer and it easily to send it to the customer. Okay, next is promotion. Okay, promotion that we use to sell the vegetable is when customers want to buy vegetable, uh, we give 5 ringgit if they buy 600 gram per each vegetable. Okay, next. Okay, this is a total sale for our group that we sell the yield. Okay, first is amaranth, which is bayam. We use sell the 23 bundle and get 58 ringgit, and water spinach 14 bundle and get the 36 ringgit, and pak choy only sell 1.2 gram and can get a 12 ringgit. Okay, pak choy we sell less because due some reason due to the seeds of the pak choy was not available, and I think the soil was not suitable for pak choy plantation. For the total sale that we get from this sale is 106 ringgit. Okay, next. Okay, now is a for conclusion. Okay, from all this activity from soil cultivation is the most popular on vegetable cultivation because it's easy, fast and can be managed in planting. Okay, not for vegetable production, only can use food production on also. Okay, the reason for using soil cultivation is the soil have the available nutrient, mineral, and microorganism that benefit the plant. After that, when we sow the plant, the crop can get more nutrient from the soil. Okay, that's all from us. Thank you.